Hey fellas, welcome to part 5 of the F105G build. Look over there. I got both of them done finally. Finished them up this morning. Got all the little doodads on them. And a lot of the stuff isn't glued on, and the horizontal stabilizers aren't on all the way because they're plastic, and if I stick them in all the way and I pull them out, they're going to end up breaking. So when the owner gets it, he can put them in all the way and hopefully not have to pull them out. But overall, I'm really happy with these. I sent the owner just one picture of them together this morning right after I got them done. And, you know, the last week I've been going through modeling hell with these damn decals that came with the kit. The owner had sent me some aftermarket decals for the Memphis Belle 2, the D model. And those weren't too bad. But the decals that came with the trumpeter kit, oh my God, they're horrible. They're old and brittle. I ended up putting some that micro scale decal film on it to try to salvage some of them, but you know, that stuff's nasty. I'm never going to use that crap again. But anyway, I did get a little bit of silvering on some of them, and I just worked like heck trying to get that out of there. And I went back with my airbrush and tried to kind of make them look like some of them were faded away, just try to get some of the silvering out that I couldn't get out with 18 coats of Solvaset. Some of them I just ripped off entirely and just painted over. But you know, overall, I'm happy with it. One major issue when I went to do the shark's mouth on the G model, I started off trying to, for some stupid reason, thought I could use the decal with the kit, you know, after I sit here, but that was the first decal that I tried to put on, and I put it on and it just wouldn't go down. It was cracking and breaking, and it wouldn't stick. It was just horrible. So I ended up just, before I even started the rest of the decals, I went ahead and painted the shark's mouth, masked that off, and hand drew the teeth and tried to get it as close as I could to what the decal was supposed to be. So I think that turned out pretty good, and I like it a lot better. Anyway, I'll quit yapping. I'll let you take a look at these, and then I'll flash up some pictures. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to build next. I know I've got a couple more, at least 2 more commission builds. But in between those, I think I do want to build a couple of my own, just to kind of give me a break from having the pressures of building for somebody else. So let's take a look at them. All right, if you hear the lawnmower, it's my neighbor. He's mowing, and we're kind of having a contest. Apparently, every time he mows, I got to get out and mow my yard. So it's probably what I'll do while this video's uploading. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, I've got all the little doodads on there. Some of them, you know, you can take off. The canopy on this one, it actually fits pretty good. I had to work with it a lot to get it to where it was somewhat even and flush, but it folds down pretty good, and it does stay up pretty good. The pitot tubes, they're just stuck in here, and honestly, they tight fit so good that you don't even need glue with these things. I'm going to take these off before I break it. All the tanks and stuff are magnetic, so they just go on. And on these wing tanks, they'll only go on one side. I got the polarity reverse, so you know, right is right and left is left. But they just fit on here like, I always screw this magnet thing up on video. There we go. But they fit on there just like that. I did kind of take an interest in kind of weathering up these tanks. Did a little bit of oil washes and some streaking and some fading and some chipping with a pencil. And then I also did some chipping right up here on the nose. I don't know if we can see that, but I actually enjoyed building these and weathering the tanks. I thought that was kind of fun. But all this stuff you can just take off, and I've got these bombs on here. How I glued these to the bomb rack, the multiple ejector rack, was I took sprue goo, and I used sprue goo to glue them on, each one of them on there, and it dried really quick and it's really solid. A lot of times in the past I've tried to put these on with super glue, and if you look at them sideways, it all falls apart. So those should be pretty solid. I got my AIM-9 Sidewinder on there. I got that from an old Hasegawa F5E kit, and kind of modified it, cut the nose down a little bit, added some detail to it because the guy wanted an AIM-9. Here's the underside. And I basically painted these guys both the same. For the weathering on the bottom, basically I just did a wash, real dark oil wash, and then wiped it away until I got it to where I want it, just to give it a grimy appearance. With these spindly little legs, and I did end up using the white metal landing gear for the front as well. What had happened was this thing fell over and it broke off the little piece right here. So what I ended up doing was cutting it off and cutting the white metal gear and putting a post in there and putting it up in there. And it's nice and solid, but I mean, with this big of a plane, these legs are like really long. I did attach them with 5-minute epoxy, and I mean, they're about as sturdy as I can get them, but you don't want to be picking this up and messing with it too much. Here's the little fuel dump dealio that I haven't glued in, and then I've got the little pedals on the back end that also come out, and I'll ship those off separately. When I was talking about these horizontal stabilizers right here, they've just got these little plastic things right here, and I can see those breaking off if you mess with these too much. So I'm just going to barely push those in just for your viewing pleasure, and then the owner can put those in whenever he gets it. But there it is. It's kind of hard to get them all in frame, but I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't overly weather it. You know, I have to build it to somebody else's taste, and you know, if it was mine, maybe I would have built one and totally trashed it out and made it look all nasty. But I built a lot of planes for this guy, and I kind of have a good idea how he likes them. So that's about all I did with the weathering. We'll take a look at the G model. And same thing. One thing I did differently with the magnets on this one is I left the little stems here, and I just put one magnet, and that's a little bit better. I should have thought of this before, but that's a little bit better in my opinion to leave those on there and then just put a magnet in there. And that way they don't have a tendency to move on you as much. He wanted a big centerline tank, and again I weathered that one. The canopies, my little dealio worked here where I put the photo etch in there, and then they just slot in and then sticks up like that. So that was a good solution. It's a lot better than me breaking off those plastic tabs that they had on there. Basically the same thing on this one. The landing gear, as spindly and crappy as they are, they really weren't that bad. Once you did one, you kind of figured it out, and you were able to do the rest. With these front radar reflectors, from my understanding, these were, I guess, reflected the radar when they came in for a landing, and I ended up just putting a pin back here and gluing it into one end. And then when I was finished, I drilled a hole and glued it into the landing gear, so it's in the correct position. There's my other fuel dump. There's the painted shark mouth, and I really like that. I like shark mouths on planes. I just think they look really cool. You can see all the detail from all that photo etch in here. I think it turned out pretty cool. So that's it. I thank you for watching, and I will flash up a bunch of pictures, and I will see you on the next build.